Go upstairs and do that, Bella.
Hey, Jimmy,
That's Wabu, beautiful people. That's Wabu. That's Wabu. It is Friday, May the 15th, 2020. We're going to get right to this, y'all. I have some pressing business this morning. That pressing business being that I have a dentist appointment. I'm supposed to be getting my braces off first thing this morning, so hopefully my retainer and stuff is in, and he can get that comb. That's Wabu, Trina, that's Wabu, TT, that's Wabu. All right, y'all. The reading today, we are in 4th Ezra 7, 8, and 9. 7 is 70 verses, 8 is 63 verses, and 9 is 47 verses. So I'm going to try not to ad-lib too much. I'm going to just go right through because I definitely have my appointment at like 8:30 this morning. So with that being said, let me preface this. Now, I was reading over this a couple times, and some things I didn't quite understand myself. Some things definitely haven't happened yet and are still to happen. And some things is just like, wait a minute, so I'm like, Father, what is this? So, all right, let's start. 4th Ezra chapter 7. And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night before. And he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell you. And I said, Speak on, my Elohim. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But if the case were that the entrance were narrow and like a river, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Bella, no. Okay. Now let me just apologize ahead of time. I'm a little tiny daughter. I'm a little tiny grandson. Both are up, and they already making a bunch of noise. That's them, okay? Hey, baby.
Can I have this spoon too?
Go ahead.
I want this big.
Okay, well, when y'all done, y'all better put my spoons in the sink. Thank you. All right. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. And there is but one path between them, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, It is so, Adonai. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion. Okay, remember yesterday he was saying, with all these things and the people you've chosen, why do they go through all these horrible things? And that's what we picked up today. And he started off, and when I had made it end of speaking these words, the angel came back to him. Then Yahuwah started speaking to him, talking about the narrow and the wide places and how you have to go through certain things. But y'all hear that? Okay. Verse 10. And I said, It is so, Adonai. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail, but they are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those things that are laid up for them. Now therefore, why disquiet yourself, seeing you are but a corruptible man? And why are you moved, whereas you are but mortal? Why have you not considered in your mind this thing that is come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Yahuwah Adonai, you have ordained in your Torah that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the wicked should perish. Remember I tell you, the righteous inherit the earth, and the wicked are rooted out. He's repeating the same thing here. This is 4th Ezra. I'll read that again, verse 17. We're in 4th Ezra, chapter 7, verse 17. Hey, hush y'all. Then answered I and said, O Yahuwah Adonai, you have ordained in your Torah that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the wicked should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above Elohim, and none that has understanding above El Elyon. What he said was, he said, you said that the righteous get these things, but what I see is that the wicked people are getting all the good things, while the righteous seem to be perishing. Sometimes when we look out, it's like, why they seem like they always getting away with stuff, like the wicked people are ruling. That's exactly what he asked. He said, you got wicked people in power, and it seems like they're getting away with this. This is exactly what he's saying to him. Verse 19.
Can you put this?
Nope. Y'all go play. Figure out how to do it in there. It's a glove, Jace. It's a big glove. You can fit your hand in it. Yep. There you go. Your fingers might not go into the finger holes, but go out there, y'all. Go. Shh. And he said unto me, there is no judge above Elohim, and none that has understanding above El Elyon. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the Torah of Elohim that is set before them. Tara, Jace, your mama said, hey.
Look, I can't do it. Look.
Girl, he bugged me about this glove, girl. Go ahead, you got it on.
Look.
Come wave your glove at your mama. Come on. So she can see. And then you got to go back in the hall. Say, hey, Mom. Okay.
I can't do it.
Yes, you can. See, you move your hand. Okay, Jace, I got to finish reading. Go ahead. Okay, verse 19. And he said unto me, there is no judge above Elohim, and none that has understanding above El Elyon. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the Torah of Elohim that is set before them. For Elohim has given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Jace, mommy says she miss you. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spoke against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of El Elyon, he said he miss you too. He said, miss you, mommy. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of El Elyon that he is not.
Why you miss your mommy?
That he is not, and knew not his ways. But his Torah they have despised, and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. And therefore, Ezra, for the empty things, and for the full, all the full things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens, which I have told you, shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that is now withdrawn from the earth. And whosoever is delivered from the aforesaid evils shall see my wonders. For my son shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son. Here's one of the parts I didn't understand. It said, after these years shall my son die, and all men that live, and the world shall be turned into the old. And the world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days, like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain. And after 7 days the world that yet awakens not shall be raised up, and that shall die, that is corrupt. And the earth shall restore those that are asleep in her, and so shall the dust those that dwell in silence. And the secret places shall deliver the souls that were committed unto them. And El Elyon shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away. Hey, can y'all hold that conversation in the dining room? Or in the living room? Or just chill? Verse 33. And El Elyon shall appear upon the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end. But judgment only shall remain. Truth shall stand, and belief shall wax strong, and the work shall follow, and the reward shall be shown, and the good deeds shall be of force, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule. Then said I, Abraham prayed first, for the inhabitants of Sodom, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness, and Joshua after him for Israel in the time of Achan, and Samuel and David for the destruction, and Solomon for them that should come to the sanctuary, and Elijah for those that received rain, and for the dead that he might live, and Ezekiel for the people in the time of Sennacherib, and many for many. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the wicked, wherefore shall it not be so now also? He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory abides. Therefore have they... Hey, calm down, y'all. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory abides. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the... Yes, ma'am.
Bella be the mean.
Hey, y'all, stop. Bella, don't be mean.
Mom, Jaden makes it.
Okay, well, y'all figure out how to mix that together, okay? He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory abides. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed.
The cookie.
Yes.
That cheese water had to get in the microwave
No.
over there.
Are y'all mixing up a concoction for real? I thought y'all was playing with air. Whatever y'all got, take it and sit it over on my counter.
I need this.
Because Jay's, your spoon looks wet.
Mommy.
Joshua, come here. Come take whatever this concoction is that they done mixed up in my hallway. Take it and dump it out, please. I believe Jace just called it cheese water. And his spoon was wet. Oh, gosh. Girl, first thing this morning, your child and his tiny aunt. Okay. Grab that, please, Josh. Take care of that. Verse 34, but judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and belief shall wax strong. And the work shall follow, and the reward shall be shown, and the good deeds shall be of force, and wicked deeds shall bear no rule.
Yucky. That's
Then
yucky.
said I, oh, wait, I went all the way back up.
Yucky.
Oh, I went up like 10 verses. I'm sorry.
I was a cheese.
No, Jace, wait a minute. Okay. Let me read 43. Yeah, I went way far. Okay, verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. So, Tara. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that has gotten the victory. I answered then and said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given earth unto Adam, or else when it was given him to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? O Adam, what have you done? For though it was you that sinned, you are not fallen alone, but we all that come of you. For what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves being most wicked are made vain. And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. And that the glory of El Elyon is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all. And that there should be shown a paradise whose fruit endures forever, wherein is security and medicine. Shall we not inquire into it? For we have walked in unpleasant places, and that the and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. For while we live and committed iniquity, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as you have said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spoke of unto the people while he lived, saying, choose life that you may live. Nevertheless, they believed him not, nor yet prophets after him, nor me, which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, and shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. I answered then and said, I know, Adonai, that El Elyon is called merciful, and that he has mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and upon those also that turn to his Torah, and that he is patient and long suffers those that have sinned as his creatures, and that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needs, and that he is of great mercy, for he multiplies more and more mercies to them that are present and that are past, and also to them that are to come. For if he should not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. And if he pardons, for if he did not sow of his goodness, that they which have committed iniquities might be eased of them, then the 10,000th part of men should not remain living. And being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word, and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be very few left, perchance, in an innumerable multitude. All right, y'all, chapter 8. And he answered me, saying, El Elyon has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I will tell you a similitude, Ezra, as when you ask the earth, it shall say unto you that it gives much mold, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold comes of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So answered I and said, swallow then down, O my soul, understanding, and devour wisdom. I like that. Oh, my soul. Swallow down understanding and devour wisdom. For you have agreed to give ear and are willing to prophesy, for you have no longer space than only to live. O Yahuwah, if you suffer not your servant, that we may pray before you, you give us seed unto our heart and culture to our understanding, that there may come fruit of it. How shall each man live that is corrupt, who bears the place of a man? For you are alone, and we all one workmanship of your hands, like you have said. For when the body is fashioned now in the mother's womb, and you give it members, your creature is preserved in fire and water, and 9 months your workmanship endures your creature, which is created in her. But that which keeps and is kept shall both be preserved. And when the time comes, the womb preserved delivers up the things that grew in it. For you have commanded out of the parts of the body, that is to say, out of the breast, milk to be given, which is the fruit of the breast, that the thing which is fashioned may be nourished for a time, till you dispose it to your mercy. The way he is explaining this is like, I mean, man, we know we give birth like a whole human being grows on the inside of us, and then our body makes the food that it needs to live until the time that is with. But the way he explaining this is just like, what wisdom. Okay. For you have commanded out of the parts of the body, that is to say, out of the breast, milk to be given, which is the fruit of the breast, that the thing which is fashioned may be nourished for a time, till you dispose it to your mercy. You brought it up with your righteousness, and nurtured it in your Torah, and reformed it with your judgment. And you shall mortify it as your creature, and quicken it as your work. If therefore you shall destroy him with so great labor, was fashioned, it is an easy thing to be ordained by your commandment, that the thing which was made might be preserved. Now therefore, Adonai, I will speak. Touching man in general, you know best, but touching your people, for whose sake I am sorry, and for your inheritance, for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, for whose sake I am troubled. Therefore will I begin to pray before you for myself and for them, for I see the falls of us that dwell in the land. So throughout this whole prayer over the last few chapters, he has constantly been asking Yahuwah about why does all this great evil befall our people? Why is this great evil falling on Jacob? You know, we know that we've turned from you, but why such darkness falls on us? Therefore will I begin to pray before you for myself and for them, for I see the falls of us that dwell in the land. But I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come. Therefore hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before you. This is the beginning of the words of Ezra before he was taken up. And I said, O Yahuwah, you that dwell in everlastingness, which behold from above the things in heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose services conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful, whose look dries up the depths, and indignation makes the mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesses. O hear the prayer of your servant, and give ear to the petition of your creature. For while I live, I will speak, and so long as I have understanding, I will answer. O look not upon the sins of your people, but upon them which serve you in truth. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that guard your testimonies and afflictions. Think not upon those that have walked vainly before you, but remember them which according to your will have known your fear. Let it be known your will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but look upon them that have clearly taught your Torah. Take no indignation at them which are deemed worse than beasts, but love them that always put their trust in your righteousness and glory. For we and our fathers do languish of such diseases, but because of us, sinners, you shall be called merciful. For if you have a desire to have mercy upon us, you shall be called merciful to us, namely, that have no works of righteousness. For the just, which have many good works laid up with you, shall out of their own deeds receive reward. For what is man that you should take displeasure at him? Or what is a corruptible generation that you should be so bitter toward it? For in truth there is no man among them that be born, but he has dealt wickedly, and among the faithful there is none which has not done amiss. For in this, O Yahuwah, your righteousness and your goodness shall be declared, if you be merciful unto them which have not the confidence of good works. Then answered he me and said, some things have you spoken aright, and according to your words it shall be. For indeed I will not think on the disposition of them which have sinned before death, before judgment, before destruction, but I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous. And I will remember also their pilgrimage and the salvation and the reward and that they shall have. Like as I have spoken now, so shall it come to pass. For as the husbandman sows much seed upon the ground and plants many trees, yet the thing that is sown good in his season comes not up, neither does all that is planted take root. Even so is it of them that are sown in the world, they shall not all be saved. I answered then and said, if I have found grace, let me speak. Like, y'all, this has so much stuff in it, you might have to go over it and read it a couple times. But probably more than a couple times to ingest it all, and just to get the gist of everything that's being said, because they're saying so much. Like verse 43 of chapter 8 of 4th Ezra. Like as the husbandman's seed perishes, if it come not up and receive not your rain in due season, or if there come too much rain and corrupt it, even so perishes man also, which is formed with your hands, and is called in your own image, because you are like unto him, for whose sake you have made all things, and liken him unto the husbandman's seed. Be not wroth with us, but spare your people, and have mercy upon your own inheritance, for you are merciful unto your creature. Then answered he me and said, things present are for the present, and things to come for such as be to come. For you come far short that you should be able to love my creature more than I. But I have oft times drawn nigh unto you and unto it, but never to the unrighteous. In this also you are marvelous before El Elyon, in that you have humbled yourself as it becomes you, and have not judged yourself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand for yourself and seek out the glory for such as be like you. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is built, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into Sheol to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasures of immortality. And therefore ask no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised El Elyon, thought scorn of his Torah, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteousness, and they said in their heart that there is no Elohim. Yea, and that knowing they must die. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. Like he's saying, he's like, we're literally preparing for the life to come. You know, this is like the first stages of life, what we're doing. When we pass on into eternity, into the spirit realm, like where like the angels and stuff are, where you can, like, if Yahuwah has opened your eyes, you can see into that realm. Like, there is another realm which is more real than this realm, you know. And if you pray and you fast a lot, you'll begin to see that realm, and you'll begin to see some of the actions going on in that realm. Like I said, it's real. People don't believe it. And he said, for those that despise his Torah, despise his truth, which would have given them life, they literally set themselves up for sorrows to come when they move on into the next phase of life. Verse 61, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto you, and a few like you. Then answered I and said, behold, O Yahuwah, now you have shown me the multitude of wonders which you will begin to do in the last times. But at what time you have not shown me. Last chapter for today, y'all. Chapter 9. Remember this one? 47 verses, not that long. Okay. He answered me then and said, measure you the time diligently in itself, and when you see part of the signs pass, which I have told you before, then shall you understand that it is the very same time wherein El Elyon will begin to visit the world which he made. Hey, hey, what in the whole world? Jason Xavier, bring me that bottle of water. In that bowl that you pouring water into. You have to eat. You playing with water, girl. Pour it in the sink. Pour it in the sink. Yeah, and you spilling it everywhere. Just get a towel. Just lift it up and pour it in the sink. Pour it in the sink. Now go get a towel. Y'all hear all of that water that they just poured in the sink? All of the water. Get that stuff out. Oh, Father, let me hurry up and finish reading this. Where was I at? Verse 2. I'm going to go back to verse 2. Then shall you understand that it is the very same time wherein El Elyon will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when he shall see... What is that? Okay. I'm going to just ignore y'all till I'm done. Then I just had to clean it up. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then you shall well understand that El Elyon spoke of those things from the days that were before you, even from the beginning. Like, we see some of these things. Girl, yeah, he about to be banned. I don't want no ice cream. Then shall you well understand that El Elyon spoke of those things from the days that were before you, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world and has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of El Elyon. Bella, get out of the bathroom sink. Even so, the times also of El Elyon have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. You better pour that water. Don't get that dollar bath. Pour that water out in the sink. Even so, the times also of El Elyon have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by belief, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my Torah while they yet had liberty, as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not but despised it. And he's talking about those who have a chance to do what's right of their own free will now. Like, you have a chance to turn to Yah and seek his face. And he said, and they scoffed at it. They laughed at it like nothing is coming after life on earth. He said they despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. And therefore be not curious how the wicked shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. Then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do I speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there may be more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop. And he answered me, saying, like as a field is, so is also the seed. As the flowers be, such as the colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is his husbandry also. For it was the time of the world. And now when I prepared the world, which was not made yet, even for them to dwell in it that now live, no man spoke against me. For then everyone obeyed. But now the manners of them which are created in this world that are made are corrupt by a perpetual seed, and by a Torah which is unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the world, and behold, there was a peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Nevertheless, if you will cease yet 7 more days, but you shall not fast in them, but go into a field of flowers, where no house is built, and eat only the flowers of the field. Taste no flesh, drink no wine, but eat flowers only. So remember, with each revelation that he kept getting from the angel, where Yahuwah was talking to him and giving him the answers to the questions that he was asking, he told him, he said, fast 7 days, and then y'all send me back and he'll answer that. So he fasted 7 days. Like, this motivates me to fast even more. I said, he told him only 7 days? Shoot, I can do that. So I'm like, okay, so if I fast I gotta fast at least 7 days before he show up. But this was Ezra. Ezra had been well versed in Torah for many, many years, and his prayers and all this stuff. I was like, so I might need to fast longer than that, But this time he told him, he said, okay, he said, this time, he said, if you want to know the answer to this, he said, go. He said, but don't fast this time. He said, go. He said, eat flowers of the field. Not like flowers, but they're edible flowers, y'all. Like if you were like plant-based. He said, go eat the flowers of the field. He said, and I'll show up again. Hey! Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, verse 23. Nevertheless, if you will cease yet 7 days more. Joshua! Josh! Yeah, pour it out.
I can't move.
Josh, get that. Oh,
Really? There's only one missing in the hallway.
can you go get a towel, Josh? Lock my bathroom door. Lock my bathroom door so they can't get back in there. Lock the bathroom door. Y'all bring all that stuff in here. Tara. Let me finish. I'm almost done, y'all. Nevertheless, if you will cease yet 7 more days, but you shall not fast in them, but go into a field of flowers where no house is built, and eat only the flowers of the field. Taste no flesh, drink no wine. Okay, use a towel and get all that water up, please. Thank you.
Jake, no water on my. I can't.
I knew this day was going to be quite eventful. Like, I knew it.
Jake, no baby and not like that.
And I prayed unto El Elyon continually. No. Let me read it again. Verse 23. Nevertheless, if you will cease yet 7 days more, but you will not fast in them, but go into a field of flowers where no house is built, and eat only the flowers of the field. Taste no flesh, drink no wine, but eat flowers only, and pray unto El Elyon continually. Then will I come and talk with you. So I went my way into the field, which is called Ardath, like as he commanded me, and there I sat among the flowers, and did eat of the herbs of the field, and the meat of the same satisfied me. After 7, remember the herbs were called meat, so he's eating the meat of the field, which are the herbs, which he just said that. After 7 days I sat upon the grass, and my heart was vexed within me, like as before. And I opened my mouth and began to talk before El Elyon, and said, O Yahuwah, you that showed yourself unto us, you were showed unto our fathers in the wilderness, in a place where no man treads, in a barren place, when you came out of Egypt. And you spoke, saying, Hear me, O Israel, and mark my words, you seed of Jacob. For behold, I sow my Torah in you, and it shall bring forth fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever. But our fathers which received the Torah kept it not, and observed not your ordinances, and though the fruit of your Torah did not perish, neither could it, for it was yours. Yet they that received it perished, because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. And lo, it is a custom, when the ground has received seed, or the sea a ship, or any vessel, meat or drink, that being perished wherein it was sown or cast into, that thing also which was sown or cast therein or received perishes, and remains not with us. But with us it has not happened so. For we that have received the Torah perish by sin, and our hearts also which receive it. Notwithstanding the Torah perishes not, but remains in his force. And when I spoke these things in my heart, I looked back with my eyes, and upon the right side I saw a woman. And behold, she mourned and wept with a loud voice, and was much grieved in heart, and her clothes were rent, and she had ashes upon her head. Then I let my thoughts go that I was in, and turned me unto her, and said unto her, Wherefore do you weep? Why are you so grieved in your mind? And she said unto me, Sir, let me alone, that I may bewail myself, and add unto my sorrow. For I am sore vexed in my mind, and brought very low. And I said unto her, What ails you? Tell me. She said unto me, I, your servant, have been barren, and had no child, though I had a man 30 years. And those 30 years I did nothing else day and night, and every hour, but make my prayer to El Elyon. After 30 years, Elohim heard your handmaid, looked upon my misery, considered my trouble, and gave me a son. And I was very glad of him. So was my man also, and all my neighbors, and we gave great honor unto El Shaddai. And I nourished him with great travail. So when he grew up and came to the time that he should have a woman, I made a feast. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. And it ends right there, right in the middle of the story. So we'll pick that back up tomorrow with 10, 11, and 12. And those are pretty long. I mean, about as long as the ones today. But we'll pick that back up. Let me go ahead, y'all, because I clearly have a mess to clean up from the little people running around. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. It is Friday, May the 15th, 2020, day 100. I didn't put it up here. Day 146.
Jesus.
And we read 4th Ezra 7, 8, and 9. If you didn't catch everything, go back and read it or listen to it. Matter of fact, I'll post the links, the audio versions, like if you want to let it play in your ear while you're walking around throughout the day, and you can listen to it or whatever and catch up and let it soak in, and and just kind of get it in you so you understand everything. If you're not understanding everything, it ain't Halloween, son. All right, y'all. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do this blessing, which is found in Numbers chapter 6. And I like to pull it up and read from it directly. Just as a point of reference for you so you can see. And so and I repeat it every day. That way it's indelibly imprinted in your mind. So like the blessing, some reason, it's Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all bright and early in the morning. Peace.